Okay, so hi, I'm Georgie. I'm from 3D MedNet, which is a website dedicated to 3D printing for medicine. So what I thought I'd do is just run you through really quickly essentially the breadth of what 3D printing is doing today in 3D, in medicine, and then we'll go from there. So quickly, just to introduce you to the website, there are sign-up cards on the table, but we are essentially a community website that's dedicated to engaging people in 3D printing for medicine. So anything that's covered by it, if you'd like to learn anything more after today, please feel free to sign up. It is free, and this is what we can offer. So what I'm going to go through today is we're going to start with bioprinting, which is essentially the printing of cells and tissues and organs. Then going to look at medical devices and implements, so things like prosthetics, implants, things like that. Then have a quick look at pharmaceuticals, so printing tablets and medicine. And then a really brief look at surgical applications, so how we're actually using things today in surgery, in theatres, and how surgeons are using 3D printing now. So to start with, we've got bioprinting, which is actually, I think, my favourite area at the moment, if the video is going to work. That's okay. Yeah, so bioprinting, like I said before, is essentially the printing of cells to make tissues and organs. What we then do with that is we can then test these, so we can test like pharmaceuticals and stuff like that in models that are actually human printed models rather than testing on animals. What you can see going on here is actually the printing of a human ear. So you'll see in a minute, you'll get a better idea of it. And essentially, this has been printed from stem cells. So this will come out looking exactly like the ear of the person that it's been taken from, essentially. So if you've been born without that ear, or if you've had an injury that takes that ear away from you, you can have exactly the same ear printed, essentially, to be replaced. Or that's the theory. In order to do that, you obviously can't use any kind of normal ink. So what we tend to use is a thing called bioink, which is essentially made up of cells in a liquid that gets spread in layers like you've seen going on here. So that's essentially bioprinting in a nutshell, a very whistle-stop tour. We then have medical devices and implements. So this is actually a prosthetic hand being printed from scratch. So where you see all the kind of lines and cavities, that's for electrical circuits to be put inside so that the hands can actually move and respond to neural or just muscular signals. So this is actually a really exciting project that's being done now in the UK to like make hands and prosthesis move. You can also print implants such as pacemakers, hearing aids, and people are even printing wheelchairs. So, I mean, there's all sorts of things that you can do in terms of the medical devices field. Also, my favourite story from a couple of weeks ago is combining the two, so bioprinting, printing cells, and printing devices. Somebody has recently managed to print a device that essentially looks like sellotape, and this pink line you see here is a line of stem cells, which has been used to make people's wounds heal a lot faster. So instead of having skin grafts, if you've been burnt in like a really horrible accident, they could technically just reprint your skin back onto your body and just roll it on like a roll of sellotape, like that simply. So pharmaceuticals, again, quick whistle-stop tour. It's very possible to print tablets, pills, all sorts of things. So where this could be useful is that you can print specific dosages into specific tablets. If you've got a child that needs to be on like particular medication that can't swallow large pills, they can print them smaller for that particular child. If you've got somebody who suffers from memory issues and perhaps would only really suit one dose a day, you can print that into one small pill that can be taken into one dose a day. Tablets that are too large can again be printed in such a way that they don't need to be cut. They can simply be crushed or dissolved in a different way. So yeah, this is an example of printing a tablet, which is a bit mad. And then the final thing we have, which is something which is going on now, which is really exciting, is surgical application of 3D printing. So what's actually happening here is somebody is printing a prostate, pretty much from the inside out. So you can see here the hard plastic version, the white version is the hard plastic version that people normally work with. What they're doing here is they're taking CT scans and then printing from the inside out something that looks and feels and reacts like a prostate. A surgeon then can work on it, fiddle with it, and then basically practice the surgery before they have to go into surgery. So before somebody's anaesthetised, they can actually look at your organs, work with your organs, and then come up with the best way to move forward with that surgery. So if you are going to have any operative complications, they're more likely to be able to establish that and figure that out before even starting the surgery, which is fairly remarkable, really. So that's kind of that. And where we're at the moment is, like I said, the surgical stuff we are doing now, and the medical devices we are moving forward, but what's holding us back really is the regulatory issues. So I don't want to dwell on these at all, but I just thought it was worth kind of mentioning. Essentially, it's who's responsible, how can we prevent anything from going wrong, and how can we move forward from it, because it is a very brand new area of, regenerative and also preparatory medicine. So quite exciting.
To find out more about 3D MedNet's coverage at Pint of Science 2018, as well as many more resources on 3D printing in medicine, visit the website at www.3dmednet.com. You can also follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for the latest updates.